For number 1, we'll start off with the most popular role in Apex Legends, the entry fragger. The entry fragger is extremely important to making sure that everything in the team comes together to form one concurrent plan. As the entry fragger, you need to be the first person into a fight, pushing in onto the enemy and making sure they have their entire attention focused on you, allowing your teammates to get a couple poke shots and eventually get a knock. As the entry fragger, you need to be good at your gunfights, have good 1v1s in case you do get surrounded by enemies and have to fight your way out of it, and you need to make sure that you don't go too far away from your team, but while still making sure you can get a lot of pressure on the enemy and make sure their attention is on you. For this example, you see I push up to the right when I'm taking down this Newcastle and Lifeline team, and I would say I beam them pretty well. I get this knock on the lifeline, and while I do have to push back here for a second to heal, my lifeline comes back in and attacks, keeping the pressure on the team. As an entry fragger, you need to start this cycle of infinite pressure on the enemy team, because if you go extremely aggressive on the enemy team, they'll just be overwhelmed, and as an entry fragger, that is your job, to pressure the team as hard as you possibly can and make sure your team can easily get all the knocks. But don't take this the wrong way. One of the main mistakes I see an entry fragger doing is pushing up extremely early in the fight. 3 seconds after the first shots were engaged, they already push up and they're already dead and knocked, and then obviously you're going to lose that fight. As an entry fragger, you need to pick a certain point in time where possibly the enemy is reloading to maybe hide behind a rock and then get your position to start applying pressure, but pushing up to the enemy before you have any cracks and your teammates are behind you is just a terrible idea, and I actually see this a lot in the higher level players that can't exactly reach masters, that they're pushing too hard and pushing too quickly, especially diamond players that are hard stuck Diamond 4. They push at times too hard and get knocked too quickly. So, as your main job as an entry fragger is to take pokes. If you get cracked, hide back in the cover, and you cannot die. If you die as an entry fragger, everything collapses and you will lose the fight, and you will be back to the lobby with 65 minus RP. Moving on to the secondary fragger. Secondary fragger is one of the more flashy roles in Apex Legends, requiring you to take angles, and if you do play this role, you will probably end up with a large amount of kills. Because while the entry fragger is taking most of the risks, you are like the cleanup crew. You come in while the entry fragger has gotten all the damage, and you're the one that actually gets most of the kills. Another job of the secondary fragger is to take angles. While your support and main fragger are pushing up on enemy, you need to go to the side or take a different angle from what your main team is doing. Don't go too far away from your team, but stay close, but take a different angle. Whether that just be moving to a slightly different building, moving to a different rock, or maybe just completely going around the enemy, you need to take a different angle, and that is one of the most important jobs of the secondary fragger. Because if the entry fragger is doing their job properly and drawing the attention of the enemy without getting knocked and taking too much damage, you can get a quick knock, whether using a triple take or a flat line, and then this allows your entry fragger and support to fully push up and finish out the team. The entry fragger starts everything, but as a secondary fragger, you need to finish it. That should be your main job. But as a secondary fragger, you also can be kind of a hybrid. If you're planning to go into the game as a secondary fragger, but your entry fragger is pinned down, now it is your job to take the position of the entry fragger and apply pressure as if you were an entry fragger. So as a secondary fragger, you have to be a little bit of a hybrid of playing off angles and being aggressive at the same time, because sometimes your entry fragger just won't be able to get that killer position to end the team, and you will have to play as an entry fragger. Now let's move on to the support playstyle. In Apex Legends, the support playstyle revolves around aiding teammates and ensuring your squad's sustainability. Throughout the match, you should be focusing on making sure your teammates is at full health or alive. You need to basically be the person that's there in the hard situations. Your entry fragger has taken a lot of damage. You need to peek for the entry fragger. Your secondary fragger has taken a lot of damage. You need to be there to shoot at a team so the secondary fragger doesn't get completely pushed. As the support, you have a lot of jobs on a team, and just making sure none of your teammates die. Because as a support, you should be standing a little bit far away from the battle, you need to have comms. You need to be telling your teammates what you need to do, what's happening, and just be ready for anything. In ranks, as support, maybe your job should be the IGL or the in-game leader, leading your team through everything and telling them where they need to go. You are kind of like the eyes for your teammates, and really, you really need to do a lot of things. And game sense is player needs to really level up and really bring and carry their team to victory. If you have proper game sense and know where to go, who to help, and just what to do in any situation, you will really be a good support character. And at times, this means just leaving a fight when your secondary Fragger and entry Fragger have already gotten knocked. You are good, but if you're also playing a character that's whole kit is around support, you probably can't 1v3. And if it's early in the game, you could definitely just go to a fabricator and craft your teammates, because anybody can be crafted now. So when you're playing as a support player and in the support playstyle, don't be afraid to make that decision that could change the entire flow of the game, and whether you get negative RP or whether you win that game and go 300 plus. But that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys Starside.